Hello everyone and welcome to the review of the Helifar H106 RC boat. This is a newer model that you can find only on GearBest because Helifar is one of their own brands. This is going to be just the first part of the review because second part will come a bit later, as I don't have access to water right now, so I cannot test it. But it will surely come a bit later, along with some other boat that you will see in action. So the specifications are rather decent. So you get 2.4 transmitter frequency, so that's rather standard. You get 8 to 10 minutes of runtime, charges in 2 hours, which is a bit long. It has a 2 cell LiPo battery and 150 meters range. What is very nice, it has this auto 180-degree turnover. This is very useful because if you flip the boat, you capsize it, it will slowly return back to normal, or at least that's the theory, and that's going to be tested, of course, in the second part of the review. So let's see what we get in the box. And we are greeted by a manual which is rather thick. It features several languages, it has diagrams, it has instructions. Interesting, it has a lot of pictures and shows you a lot of things. It even mentions that it has a reverse, this boat. We're going to look on that later. So what else we get here? Of course, it's the boat that looks like that. And there's a lot of plastic things like this trimming parts here, and the propeller is plastic, rudder is plastic, at least the motor shaft is not plastic, it's metal, and the shaft here that holds the rudder is from metal, but the support here is yet from plastic. At least it's not very heavy, so I hope that it doesn't need all that metal to keep it resistant. So there's a battery here. It says lithium ion, so it's not lithium polymer, it's not a LiPo. 600 milliamps, 2 cell battery, and the transmitter, which is rather impressive for a tiny boat because it features even LCD on it, but these buttons here are fake. The trim buttons are fake. This works, that works, this one works, of course those work, and those are all the buttons that are available on the transmitter. Of course we are going to power it on, but there's something else here on the underneath of the box. So there's a spanner, there's a spare propeller, the charger cable which is on USB, and there's this protection here. Let's take them out from this, and this will make my job easier. Right, and much better. We also get a support for the boat, so you will not break the rudder while putting it down like that, so you won't need to put it upwards like I did. And this nose protection cone protects the boat from impacts, I believe, or when transporting it, I don't know. I'm going to read the manual for that. Alright, let's see what's inside the boat. So it has this little clip here. You put one side and the top is over. That's nice. It actually has a second hatch with 4 locks. This thing is very good because it has more chances of keeping the water out, and you can see it has this not sealment, but the boat itself, the body is a bit more up, so if water is splashed on top of the boat and goes next to the cover, it will actually go down from here and will be directed to fall back into the water, the lake or sea, whatever, and it not stay over this hatch. So that's very nice. So now I'm going to open these clips. So another 4 clips, and now they're off. And very nice, it has a gasket which keeps it tight, watertight, and there's another battery inside. So this battery actually comes with 2 batteries and worm tip, and there's a plastic thing here, and there's some silica gel here, and there's the second battery. And now we can take a look inside the boat and see how it's built. So there's the servo for the rudder, the motor which is brushed but also cooled with this, so water is taken inside through this small here hole here, and when the boat speeds over the water surface, the water is pushed through this pipe here around the motor, cools the motor, and then goes out through that port. So the motor is some kind of water cooled, not professionally, but this thing helps a bit to dissipate heat faster. The dry shaft is visible there. It has a metal tube, and there's a connector here, a plastic connector. I don't see any kind of screw holding it in place, so that should be interesting to see how it works and how it can be taken apart in case you need to service it. So the boat is now nicely installed on that support over there, and let's see if it powers up and if it works or not. So I'm going to connect the battery. I'm going to power on the transmitter. It uses 4 AA batteries, and I think that needs to be binded. We'll see. It also has here take signal indicator or something like that, but it doesn't show anything. It will show you the movement of the channels, and that's about it. I don't know if it will show the receiver signal strength or something like that. We'll see about it in a moment, just after I plug in this weird looking connector properly. So the connector is now plugged in, and there's no activity at all. And guess what? The battery is actually not fully charged but has enough power, so this thing does not work. And I was trying to find out why until I have seen this, and there's a metal part inside, there's a wire going in, it's over there, and it's not the servo wire, and enters into the receiver and ESC combo. But actually this boat has a sensor for water, and it will not work outside of water. You cannot even test it outside of the water. So the metal parts that contact are the metal shaft here for the propeller and this tiny sensor here. And if I power on the transmitter, and if I touch these 2 parts here, you can actually hear the transmitter, and the transmitter will now show signal voltage, signal level or something like that. And I don't know, it shows, it's misleading. It shows a transmitter and there's a battery level there. Probably it's the transmitter battery level, and there's a signal strength indicator which may show actually the signal strength of the boat, and that will be really nice to test if it's working or not. Of course, if I have let go of the contact over there, there's no activity. So if I touch them back again, I can move the rudder, and if I watch my fingers I can even use throttle and it works properly. The buttons here are actually for trimming the rudder if you need to, and that's mostly about it. This doesn't have anti-capsize function. It has a 100 roll electric function. It will use the motor and the propeller. It will create a rocking motion, and it will try to rotate the boat back on its normal working position. So there's a chance that this will flip over and you are going to need to swim to recover it. So that was for now. I'm going to unplug the battery. I'm going to take it out of the boat. I'm going to storage charge both batteries, and you are going to have to wait a few more days, actually a few more weeks, until I get the proper chance to do some really nice runs with this boat and the other boat that I'm still talking about, and that will be really nice to see in action. Until then, bye bye.